Do you know what women felt when they get sexually assaulted? Why did this happen to me? When will this be over? How do I get over this? No one understands. It is estimated that about 736 million women are involved in partner violence, non-partner sexual violence, or both at least once in their life. Women who have experienced violence are suffering from depression, anxiety disorder, unwanted pregnancies, HIV, and syphilis. They shouldn't be treated like this.
Hi doctor, I'm so sorry I'm late.
You're late by an hour. So you were Miss Zoey from the phone call yesterday, right? What's happening?
Zoey, a 25-year-old lovely girl who always has a sweet smile on her face. She feels a bit awkward and stutters as she was trying to make an excuse for hesitating to enter the building for an hour.
There was a traffic jam and there was a car accident. 4 cars collided and it was so bad.
The therapist says nothing and welcomes her to take a seat.
Well, it's fine. Please take a seat. So since it is our first therapy sessions, may I ask a few questions before we get started? Don't worry, I just want to get some information.
Alright, sure.
So have you ever seen a counselor before? Do you know a counselor in school or at the workplace?
No, this is my first time.
So what brings you here today?
No big deal. I came here, for a new experience. I just want to know what a therapy session would be like. Oh, and maybe I can tell you about my crappy boss that caused me a great deal of stress.
Alright, so what do you expect from the counseling process? At the end of our therapy sections, what do you expect the goal will be?
Well, just like I said, I'm here just for the experience. Maybe I expect to be a better person.
Miss, I understand your concern. Maybe it's hard for you to tell, but as a professional therapist, I am here to help you. Maybe in deep down you have made up your mind to review the real reasons you decided to step into this room, haven't you? Well, let's make it more comfortable. You can treat me like a best friend and you can tell me whatever you want and I will be your listener. Sounds good?
It's coming back again. The nightmare. I can't sleep well even with sleeping pills. I have nightmare every night and it haunts me. I think I'm doomed, doctor.
Zoey came from a divorced family and is living with her father. They weren't wealthy, but they were comfortable. Until then, the lockdown swept the harmony like a ruthless hurricane. She was only 17 years old, a naive, a charming teenager falling into a never-ending abyss.
Yes. Yeah. No. I don't have any experience. But I don't have any experience before. But I can assure you, I can. Hello. Well, never mind. Maybe we'll get it next time.
Hey Dad, it's almost 10 p.m. What are you doing?
Hey, finding a new job. I saw a lot of job applications on Facebook and I want to give it a try. What are you doing here? Don't you have class tomorrow in the morning? Go back to sleep.
Alright, Dad. Just don't get yourself too worked up. You'll get a job. I have faith in you.
As the day goes by, Raymond feels more stressful. While he felt somewhat optimistic, but in reality, he knew he was in big trouble. He has lost his job and has tons of bills, loan, and his daughter's tuition fees to pay. The pressure was mounting, and one day he just snapped and lost all his rationality. The door slammed open, and Zoey was shocked as she was lying on the sofa looking at her phone. Zoey was curious about the sound and she smelled a strong smell of alcohol. She got up and saw her father. Raymond was drunk, and she couldn't even walk properly.
Dad? What is happening? Why are you drunk in the morning?
Hey Zoey. You know what the HR told me? He said I didn't meet their expectation. Can you believe that? That's not fair. I have a degree. By the way, Zoey, you look great today. Do you know, sometimes you look like your mom. I still love you even though you left us.
Raymond, who was extremely drunk, he was hallucinating that Zoey was his wife. Raymond, who was denied a job opportunity, was devastated that felt an emotional emptiness. In his drunken state, he raped Zoey. After that terrible tragedy, Raymond changed from a kind, lovely father to a monster. Raymond couldn't control himself and he treated Zoey as his slave for releasing his sexual desire.
Hey Tracy.
Hey Zoe, how's your day? You've been really quiet these few weeks, and you were even absent from a few classes. What happened? Are you feeling sick? Are you facing some problems in your life?
Look, I'm actually experiencing some terrible things. My father.
What? Sorry, I can't hear you clearly. Your father, what?
Nothing. It's not my father. I said my Wi-Fi was unstable these few weeks. Yeah, you know it makes me so angry. I can't even follow my drama online recently. Yeah, totally fine. Just a headache sometimes. No biggies.
Okay, I hope you are not hiding something from me.
Hey, Tracy, I have to go. My tuition teacher just called me. Bye.
Hi, is this Zoe? You have missed 3 of my online classes. I did take attendance, right? Well, you should give me a good reason why you skipped my classes. Aren't you aware that you have final exam in the next 2 months? Might know what is happening to you. Well, we'll see you next week. I'll keep an eye on you.
Zoe hesitated to tell either Tracy or her tuition teacher what she really experienced. She was afraid Tracy and her teacher would treat her as too sensitive or vulnerable or even exaggerating. She hid the truth and remained silent. She can't imagine the consequence if she confesses this to others. Will her father go to jail? Will she have to live separately from her father? It was too much for a 17-year-old child.
I'm so fearful. He kept coming for me day and night, sleep or awake. I felt like my body doesn't belong to me anymore. I'm a slave, a bird in a cage, just to pleasure someone. It's just like an octopus whereby I've slapped away one arm and there is another one coming at me. I've told myself about 100,000 times that I'm a terrible daughter if I throw him under the bus. I kept brushing it off and convinced myself that he just had no way to release his stress and I should be a good daughter so we can get on with our day. I tried to end my life, but in the end, I can't. It is just a never-ending nightmare. I thought I can move on, but now it keeps haunting me. What if I told my best friend about this? What if my life partner found out? Will they accept me no matter how dirty I am? I don't know, doctor. I can't imagine that.
Zoe, calm down, alright? First of all, it's very brave of you to tell me these secrets. Besides, you were young and it was not your fault. It is the adult responsibility to model moral behavior. I understand that your father had sexualized you in a way that was not appropriate. He shouldn't have been doing it in the first place or initiate it even under huge pressure.
What should I do to get away from this nightmare? The terrifying scenes come back to me all the time. How should I continue with my life?
We can't control what other people do, but we can control what we do. It is important to be gentle with yourself and take steps to reclaim your life. You have to grieve, to adjust, and to recognize your life. Once you have come to that realizations, you will be able to go with your life. Don't be afraid to seek help if you need help dealing with your trauma. You were young and it was not your fault. No one deserved to be sexually assaulted. You did not choose to be sexually assaulted.
I always pretend that I'm okay. I felt that as long as I kept it to myself and no one knew my secret, it wasn't true. I was wrong. I'm not okay at all.
When people get hurt, especially when that hurt comes from the parents, they are more likely to shield themselves from emotions. The pain is more unbearable after the absence of words and silence. Zoe, you smile at many people every day, and you are forgiving to many people too. But none of them hurt you, do they? You are hurt not by yourself, but by him.
Are you sure, doctor, that I can move on with this?
Everyone is like a cactus plant, full of thorns to protect themselves in the desert. But after the suffering, it will always be blossom. You will get better as soon as you endure and adapt to the harsh environment. I promise you, you were young and you have such a bright future. Embrace your true self and you will eventually be healed.
Deep down, Zoe realized that the father was not the same father she remembered. A responsible, kind, and loving father. He had changed. From that moment, she made up her mind to accept it and start to love herself, protect herself from any unfairness or brutal treatment. Like a cactus plant, the thorn used for protection alludes to her sweet smile as she conceals her secret. She has survived domestic sexual violence. Her endurance in fighting against insects has allowed Zoe to bloom like a cactus flower into a beautiful woman.